Hello everyone and welcome to the Rift. Today I have a feature match to share with you from our latest tournament. That's right, over the weekend this Saturday I hosted a tournament. If you would like to see all of the decks that performed well at the tournament, I have a video covering them up on my channel, and if you want to view the entire VOD for the tournament, you can do so on my channel as well, over in the live stream section. And if you want to sign up to participate in future tournaments, you can do so using the link in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for future tournaments so that you can watch them as soon as they go live, or watch any videos I post covering the event as soon as they're uploaded. Alright, we've got Sett and Volibear. Okay, interesting matchup. It'll be interesting to see what kind of build they're gonna go for with Volibear. Sett, we have playing the orange Sett, the big boy, and Volley, of course, the red Volibear, because the orange one isn't really that great. It's just too expensive. Yeah, it could be interesting to see how this matchup goes. Sett puts up a lot of early game pressure and a lot of pressure fast. He builds up a ton of units at base over the course of the game, so by the time Volibear really gets online and starts playing the game, Sett's gonna have a ton of stuff to deal with, most likely. So we'll see how that goes. Most builds of Volibear just sit back and play a big unit each turn, starting from turn 2, so they don't really do that much early game. We've got Monastery, pretty good for Sett, just extra card draw, and Aspirant's Collab, which is good for Volley, because the game's going to go longer, which is exactly what Volley wants, because the longer the game goes, the more favored they are to win. They're just going to start dropping a bunch of big dudes over and over again in the late game, and Sett will eventually not be able to deal with them all. Right, Sett going first is excellent for Sett. You really want to see that, especially against Volley. Just getting a unit down turn 1 is great. It's going to be able to start scoring next turn. Really good aggressive pressure in the early game. Volibear should have a third rune here. Yeah. They're probably just going to pass turn 1. Yep. As Volibear does. You don't really play in the early game at all, as we see here. Sett's turn 2. It can develop some more units. Probably after pushing this. You generally want to attack first in this game with your energy open, so you have responses to your opponent, and then after your attack goes through, you just develop in base. Go ahead and score a point here, and then we're gonna probably develop some more units. Additionally, 2 drops. That sounds like a good idea to me. Or Fiora, also pretty good. Slightly annoying to deal with because it has deflect, so killing it usually costs extra. Ramping with Catalyst. Okay, not a card we usually see in Volibear. It's kind of slow. Like, usually we see the 5-drop units instead, because those ramp 1 because of Volibear, and also put a 5-might unit onto the board. This kind of just doesn't do anything in terms of board presence. Just kind of give up the early game. So usually people don't play this as much. The score, go to 2, probably go to 3 here, I would imagine. Yeah, you really just want to start getting those points and close out the game as fast as you can. Gonna try and go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 because Aspirants is on the field, so getting to 3 points here is probably gonna be crucial. I'd pull the Bora back just to be safe, sure. Units are typically safer in base than on fields. And play this guy, buff Fiora. So now she has all of her keywords because she's at 5 might. And play another guy that's just going to buff itself, just building up more board presence. And you can see already the Sett has 4 units on the board. Volibear doesn't have a single unit. So, going to be difficult to deal with all this stuff. Let's see what Volibear's got. They are on 9, so that's the magic number for Aurora, which it looks like they might, yep, just play. Usually you want to play this card as fast as possible, because it gets you a free unit every turn, from now on. So, let's see what they hit off the top. Cadrigrin. Okay, so they're going to draw a card. An okay unit to hit right now. It's just a big guy, but Sett is going to get to go to 5 points, so they're getting closer to winning. Volibear is going to have to start amassing a critical mass of big dudes that Sett won't be able to deal with. If Sett plays Hidden Blades in their main deck, that's extremely good in this matchup. Not everybody plays that card, so we'll see if they're on it. Yeah, they've got a decent board of dudes and a bunch of energy to play with, so gonna have a ton of guys. Orange Sett is also excellent in this matchup because he can get extremely large and just beat over a bunch of Volibear's units. Looks like our Sett player is thinking about what to do here. You just develop this guy if you want. That's probably a good play. Have him ready for next turn to punch over something for a ton of damage. Yeah, gonna go ahead and go up to 5 points. They're probably also gonna pull the Fiora back to base because there's not really a reason to keep it on the board. Spend their buff here to draw. Okay, interesting choice spending that buff. I think I would have spent Fiora's and pulled her back, so she's safe in base, and if they attack into this, you can just save it with Sett. But this unit is vulnerable right now, so unless they buff it again, it can't just die for free. Another Poro in base, just developing more presence, and they leave the Fiora up. Okay, I mean, it does just get swung over here, so I think I would have put it back to base just to keep it safe. Interesting, Herald of Scales. Okay, this is ramp only for dragons. They might be playing a ton of dragons in their deck. This card can go crazy sometimes if they have a bunch of dragons. Here's this guy. We have never really seen this guy played. And a challenge onto something, I guess. If you kill a buffed unit with this, they just save it, so that doesn't really do much. But you can challenge into the Fiora. I guess. Challenge Sett, burn the buff. That's not really great. You could try and kill a small unit, but that's just 2 might gone from the board. Sett just gets saved here. So So this challenge doesn't really accomplish that much except burning one of Sett's buffs. Yeah, this buff should be burned and is tapped if they want to protect. That might be what they're doing. It's like they might be discussing something. Yeah, challenging Sett here doesn't really do that much except burn his buff, so... I mean, it is 4 less might that they can swing in with next turn, so... doesn't exactly accomplish nothing, it's just not... it's not amazing. Usually you want to actually, like, kill a unit. Challenge. Like, if you walk over this Fiora with Cadrigan, and they protect it with the buff, it goes back to base with no buff, and then you can slam a challenge down on it to kill it fully. That's usually a play we see. Yeah, because they played Firebrand, challenges 0 energy. I don't know what they're talking about. They might just not know how Sett works. Yeah, it looks like they've called the judge. Just to understand how this interaction works. Yeah, if Sett would die to challenge, you can just tap the legend and get rid of his buff to save him, instead of him dying. Yeah, this card is going to be eroded at least a little bit, because currently as it's written, it doesn't really work. So, the intention is that it's a replacement effect and it doesn't activate. But as written, that's not exactly how it works. And we always use, in terms of rulings, we always do what Riot tells us is supposed to be done instead of rules as written. We use rules as intended, as Riot keeps telling us that we don't quite understand things correctly, at least as they're written. Yeah, there are some cards in this game that just don't really work with the rules, and they're going to be rewritten when the set actually comes out. Looks like they flipped a Earth sign off of Aurora. It's not a bad hit. Okay, they're gonna play a challenge of their own. Killing Herald of Scales. Okay. Yeah, Sett is on 7, so they can just pull all their units back to base and then build up in base this turn for a giant attack next turn to win. The PSCT in this game is not good. Yeah, it doesn't have PSCT. That's the problem. It's very much old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Where cards are just written in a way to where they don't really make perfect sense. Okay, gotta play King Q and buff Sett. That's great. Buff Glory Seeker, also great. Probably just pull both their units back and then pass. And then next turn... Sett is gonna kill this Firebrand, just getting rid of more might from Volibear's board, making their next turn even easier. Close out the game. And yep, just pull back to base and try and win next turn. Volibear is currently on 0 points and Sett is about to win the game. Yeah, this matchup seems rough. I'll be honest. Mobilize. Not exactly what you want to be doing right now. Just draw a card. Doesn't really help you in this situation. Matchup looked abysmal last night. Yeah, I mean... Challenge just makes it so rough. Like, the fact that your stuff is not safe in base when Volibear's developing their big board. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're just gonna try and stack on a field and hopefully live, but I don't think they're gonna be able to survive. If Sett really wants to, they can just hold this field as well for a turn cycle and win that way. So, I mean, yeah. They should probably put this Farron on a field. I don't think it'll matter, but you want to stack on field? Yeah, you can put both of these on this field. It's easy enough for Sett to take a turn off and double conquer, and Foley just doesn't keep up points fast enough. Yeah. Sett builds a giant board while taking a bunch of points and protecting their units when you try and kill them. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, this deck is still just so good. I still think this is the best legend in the game. It's just so crazy. 3 units is nuts. Yeah, they're just gonna math it out. You've only got 15 might on this board, and that is it. That is not going to be enough to survive. They're holding up energy for a challenge, so if they spend Sett's buff here and move him up to 8, he could get challenged and die by this Cantergrin. That could potentially help. Looks like they're just gonna push up to my unit here, try and get to 8 points before they fully commit to breaking down this big wall of guys. And yeah, if they really want to just play it safe, they could just take all their units and stack them here. Plays into Stormbringer, I guess, but I don't think anybody's playing that anymore. Just gonna go ahead and swing 6 might total into this Ursine, so try and kill it. If they have a challenge, they could spend it now, I guess, but looks like they might not have Ellen. So that's unfortunate. Yeah, they could just swing this Sett as is and the monk in there, play around, challenge a bit, but if they swing both these in and get challenged, both their units die, then they can just hold over on this field, so it doesn't really matter that much. They're just gonna ship everything. Okay. Yeah, I think this is enough, even if they have challenge. 4 plus 5 plus 3 is, yeah, enough. And that is going to be game 1. Over to Sett. Well played by the Sett player. They knew how to play the matchup. Just take a bunch of points as you can. Put guys on the board, keep putting guys on the board, protect your guys, and yeah, you should just win against Voli. Alright, on to game 2. One game win over to Sett. There's going to go ahead and sideboard. If you have, like, hidden blades in the side, you can bring them in this matchup, but I don't really think you need them. That was Volibear's Aspirants game, so from here on out, Sett is going to have an easier time closing the game out, because they only have to get to 8 points now. Looks like they're done sideboarding, so we go ahead and start game 2. How do you side in tabletop? You take the cards out of your deck, and you put the cards in your deck. And right-click and search to look through your deck and just pull cards out. Yeah, it's the exact same as how you do it manually in person. It's like they're deciding which battlefields they want to play. Answer to most things, how to do X is the same way you do it in real life, yeah, for the most part in Table Sim. Shuffling's done for you, which is the nice part. Alright, game 2 we're gonna play on Star Tipped. Okay, that is probably good for Sett, because Volibear doesn't play the game in the early game, so. And Windswept, honestly good for both players. It's let Sett take points faster. Well, not faster, but with less commitment. You have to commit less units to the board to get points with this card. And for Volley in the late game, they can do some shenanigans if they play Misfortune. We'll see if they play that card. Alright, Sett still going first. Okay. Play a unit turn 1 and pass. Volibear. Oh, looks like they have a unit. Oh, sabotage. Okay. Interesting. Gonna take the showstopper as it's the only legal target, but their hand looks pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. That's a nice looking hand. We've got Fiora next turn, and then another Fiora and a Pit Rookie for the following turn. That's pretty good. Yeah, this is gonna be another struggle bus for Volibear, I would imagine. Probably just gonna take a point here, potentially on Windswept, so next turn you can just hold and then gank over and get more points with just a Cytheria. So the Cytheria may get 3 points in this early game. That's a lot. Okay, gonna play this. Interesting. I probably would have just played Fiora. Cytheria would get its buff anyway. Yeah, they probably should have played Fiora unless they have something to hold up in their hand, which I don't think Sett really does right now. Yeah, just play Fiora and the next turn play the second Fiora and Pit Rookie. Also going here, holding, so they can't gank over now. They're gonna have to commit a second unit to the board if they want to score. Yeah, this Pit Rookie is vulnerable to being killed right now. They can even swing over with just the Herald. Yeah, you can pull the Cytheria back here to just take it out of the line of fire. Down first Fiora, okay. And a Glory Seeker. Okay, sure. Onto this. Trying to hold on to this field. I mean, I guess. I don't really know why right now. I can just walk over this with that, but then it gets eaten by Fiora, so they might not even want to do that. It's still a rough spot for Volibear. Snapvine? Yep, okay. What are they gonna eat? They could safely eat this, yeah. Sett's getting their board picked apart a little bit. Yeah, if they had just been taking points with this Cythria here and not committing other units to the board, this wouldn't have been able to die to Snapvine. It might end up mattering in the long run, but maybe not. This Herald is going to get eaten by Fiora, most likely. King Monk, alright. Gonna buff the Fiora. It cannot buff itself. It's other friendly units that cannot buff itself. Oh, looks like they figured it out. Yeah, Fiora's gonna go ahead and walk over this Herald. And it won't die to Snapvine in return because it will be at 6 might total with shield. So yeah. Still a very rough spot for Voli to be in. And they've got a Sett developed onto the board. Yeah. This is a lot of units. It's a lot of units. Against a lone Snapvine. Can't really attack into anything right now. Seven energy. Not enough for a dead bloom. Just gonna go for an Ursine and probably pass because this Snapvine can't really swing into much. It can attack here and trade with a unit. Yeah, I can eat a unit. The other one gets protected. Then it just dies to potential Sett swinging in next turn. Yeah. They have no energy on their side, so this Sett just gets to eat it in retaliation. They couldn't buff the Fury there. It says buff 2 units. You can target units that already have buffs on them. It just won't do anything. So it is a legal play. Yeah, each one that doesn't have a buff gets a +1 buff. But you can still target ones that do have a buff. Yeah, they just pump Sett with his effect and swing over Snapvine. Snapvine dies, Sett gets his buff back because he conquered. So he's protected. How many Yi decks? I haven't looked at the overall breakdown yet. That'll be something I do Sunday and Monday. But we'll see in Top Cut tomorrow. Yeah, they're just gonna hold with this Sett. Potentially. I mean, they literally have to attack over the Sett to not lose the game, so yeah, just develop more stuff in base, develop a ton more stuff in base. Yeah, this is extremely rough for Volibear. They just don't have anything, and Sett has everything. They can try to do something. Maybe put a dead bloom out. Still don't think that really helps. when they played Kinku, they only had Kinku and Fiora. I thought they had another unit on board, like small stuff as well. I don't think it was just those. Gonna play a second Earth sign. Okay. Doesn't really help in this situation. It looks like they might just be conceding. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing Volibear can do here. Sett just has way too many guys in base. Yeah, Kinku can buff stuff anywhere. Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. Voli did not seem capable of handling Sett even a little bit. Which, I mean, fair enough. I just think these decks are in two completely different tiers.